start part two as I left off. So anyway, he came to South Africa. We ended up dating for about a year. And during that time, it was long distance. He was in Doha. I was obviously in South Africa. And he would come every 2 weeks. 2 weeks within 6 months, he'd come to South Africa to spend time with me. Good man, no doubts. Still up until today, an amazing man. But I think what our issue was I felt like I wasn't getting enough time with him. And he felt like he was doing so much for me in terms of taking care of me. But I just felt like, you know what, that stuff didn't mean anything to me. Yes, you got it off over my... Oh yeah, we ended up getting our own place together because I looked at the expenses of him spending money on hotels all the time and spending money by getting a place to rent so we can, build a home and, figure out our future together. So I eventually got a place, which was actually pretty decent. Back then in Phoenix, the prices were kind of dirt cheap. So anyway, we ended up getting a place. We traveled 2015 and 2016. If I'm not mistaken, 2015, I think we did Mauritius. No, 2015 we did the States. We went to South Carolina to his mom to surprise his mom. And then I think about around 2016, end of 2015 and 2016 time, we ended up doing a vacation in Mauritius. I feel like at that time, even though it was all well and dandy and we kind of thought that we were each other's person, it still didn't feel, how could I say, easy or smooth flowing, or maybe we probably just didn't understand each other at that time because it was long distance. And he's not much of a communication person even up until today. Like the communication in terms of phone, text, and stuff like that sucks big time. But have a face-to-face conversation with him, he's okay. So I think also when you're in a long distance relationship, that time we only had Skype and BBM. When you are in a long distance relationship, it takes a lot of communication. And I think the communication was lacking on our part. That's why we ended up falling short or being at each other's throats a lot. I also felt like at some point that I wasn't good enough because you have this whole other person in another country. Sorry, I had to put the AC off because it makes a noise. You have this whole other person in another country that you pursued, but you still can't give them your time or show them your effort in phone calls and checking up and, how are you? If I needed something, I would just squeal, and it's there. Like even just wanting a place, because I felt like he was spending too much money on hotels. He provided that without a question, and then getting the furniture for the place, 1, 2, 3, he provided that, no issue. But I also just feel like there's certain things in life that you need as a couple or as a person that money can't buy. Or providing certain things for that person is not equivalent in spending quality time with that person and taking time out for that person to his defense, I understand that, okay, he was coming to South Africa to take a break from Qatar. We all get that little bit of a stress factor here in this country, because obviously you're not free to do what you want to do and how you want to do it, and it's just super restricted. So I understand that from his side, but in the same breath, it was like, you come here, all you do is watch TV, and maybe play games, or or fall asleep on the couch, and and sometimes I'd be at work and I'd think, okay, now I come back from a hard day at work, I can't even get bath water run for me. I have to come downstairs, and I must come into the house, carry my own cabin bag back into the house. I must still come back and cook. You on vacation, the least you can do is maybe order dinner, or at least make my bath water ready, bruh. Like, I'm tired. I've been on my feet the whole damn day. Like, those small things used to annoy me. Yet I get home and you're just laying on the couch. And I'm like, dude, you are on vacation. At least you have all the time in the world. My time is limited. At least make food. At least do something to make your wife feel, or your person, well, now I'm his wife, but your girlfriend at that time, to feel appreciated, that, hey, I see you, I've done something. But nothing. I would get dololo. Zilch, nada. So I think all of that accumulated, and it just became a lot. And every time I wanted to speak to him or whatever, I'm the one calling. Every time I'm missing him, I'm the one calling. Every time I want to, just touch base with him, make sure he's okay, I'm the one texting, I'm the one calling. I just felt like, even though he was doing what he thought was right of him at that time, when it came to communication, I felt like I literally put in all the effort, did everything you can even think about. And I think in some way we both felt like, okay, we're on both opposite sides of the country, of the world. Maybe this one could be cheating, so why should I invest so much into it? Maybe he was thinking that, maybe I was thinking that. But for me at that time, yes, I had dated, but he was like the only man that I felt like I could commit myself to and see a future with. And that's when I stopped everything. Like, I was 19 years old. The fact that he could show me that he's a man, provide for me, take care of me, and sometimes be there emotionally, proved to me that this is what I needed in my life. And yes, okay, it's a little bit of daddy issues, but my stepdad came in with the vengeance, right? I didn't have my real father there all the time, but I had my stepdad there. And the qualities I saw in him was the qualities I saw in my stepdad. Richard was an amazing father, and still is an amazing father. He would teach us life's basics without even having to make us go through it. He would just explain it and decipher whatever the result of our choices would be. So a lot of things in life I didn't get to experience firsthand because I was taught before I got into that mess. Like, it was a red flag at that point in me. What is your decision now? My advice is don't do it. And like that's how I grew up. So that's why I've always been shielded, and I've never, I won't say shielded, but I've always had a more level head on making the right decisions and right choices for my life. So when hubby came along, or boyfriend came along that time, I knew, okay, this is the one for me. He's a respectable man. He's well-mannered. He takes care of his woman. He's, basic. He's not all over the place. He's quiet. He's humble. So I was like, this is my dude. This is my dude. But also with the distance, it plays a a huge factor, especially communication. So that was why we only literally lasted a year. With this being said, I think at a point, I find that we are both somehow to blame for our separation. I was young, he was also young. He had different ideas about settling down with a person. And I think I was a little bit too mature for my age and expected and wanted more from him because I was ready to settle down. Yes, I was 19, but once you find that person, I mean, well, after my 21st birthday, I'm technically an adult. But once you find that person that makes you say, okay, this is it, you know, as a woman, you don't want to look anywhere else or venture anywhere else. You just want this specific person in your life, and you want to do everything you can to make sure that the relationship works. So I think I saw it, but he didn't see it. And it was heartbreaking because after that year, I think just before my birthday in 2016, he ended things with me. Okay, he was like, let's take a break. And in my mind, I was like, I don't get to see you a lot. It's not like we in each other's faces 24/7, you know. Why all of a sudden now you want to take a break? What is going on? And then I didn't understand. Maybe there was a whole lot of pressure going on here in Qatar or whatever was going on in his life. But it was more of me feeling like I was a burden now, you know, like after everything I've done for you. That was his words. After everything that I've done for you, now let's take a break. And it was a simple question of me asking him, hey, somebody said they saw you in a club with so-and-so. Is it true, yes or no? And I gave him full rein. I said to him, it's a long-distance relationship. I do not expect you to be committed to me 24/7. Like, I don't expect you to be committed to me. But the only thing I ask you is that I not find out. Because if I find out, it's going to be a problem. You need to be able to clean up your tracks real quick. Because I have friends in Doha. They will tell me. So, yeah. Apparently, he met this girl in the club or whatever. And then that was 2016. And I heard about it. And I confronted him about it. And he was a little iffy about it. So I was like, you know what? If that's how you feel, then it is what it is. Let's break up, because you asking me to give you a break when I don't even see you every day doesn't make any sense to me. You come to South Africa 2 weeks in every 3 months. We spend that little bit of time together, and then you're gone again. And then I'm out here holding the fort because I'm your queen. Some people even thought I had an imaginary boyfriend. Imagine. So anyway, so yeah, like at that point, I was just like, hey, if this is what you want, I'm not taking a break from you, because there's no point in a break. We might as well just break up. And that's what happened. And then years down the line folded, and then we still kept in touch. Because I couldn't exactly let him go. Like, no matter who I dated, who I was with, he was just still this lingering person in my life. Like, something was just like, hey, this is the guy. You're wasting your time. So, but yeah, we'll get into the future stories at another stage. But this is just like how we met, how everything transpired. After 2016, we broke up. We still kept in touch, but we were done. And then years went by, and then I ended up in Doha in 2019.